This is Wes Shope, an actuarial analyst at Contribution Health. I'd like to give you a quick presentation providing an overview of an exciting new product called ClearPATH. ClearPATH integrates actuarial value, renewal modeling tools, all the while measuring these up against ACA metrics. Now, ClearPATH had an interesting development. It started out as an Excel-based player pay model. However, as a team, we were able to merge this with our other tools, including a full-featured actuarial value calculator, as well as renewal modeling tools. After which we had a comprehensive system which was able to measure differences in plan changes, which would change packages, and that in turn would be reflected in the change in cost at renewal time. However, to get this system into the hands of everyone who needed it, we wanted to create this into a database system. ClearPATH is now available as an online software as a service, completely available and customizable to you and your needs. We believe ClearPATH is a tool unlike any other. We have both an actuarial value calculator, and we are also able to measure differences in plan design and differences in packages for renewal modeling. These, again, are all measured up against healthcare reform modeling. In other words, we can see the impact of the Affordable Care Act on different renewal options. We'll see ClearPATH online in a minute here, but first I'd like to highlight the three main steps with some screenshots. Here's step 1, setting the plan design. You'll note that this is in the exact same order as an SBC. In other words, if you have an SBC, you are able to simply run down the options and create a plan, all of which culminating into an actuarial value at the top right corner. The second step is to group up plan designs into a renewal plan. These are in ordered pairs. This screenshot shows an example in which an employer keeps two plans identical to how they were, but you'll see the third, where the blue arrow is, the employer has changed one plan from a $1,000 deductible to one with a $3,000 deductible. The effects of this are then seen in step 3, which shows the results in a convenient side-by-side arrangement. The 4 columns there display different scenarios, the first being the scenario in which no changes are made to plan design. The second scenario is an automatically generated scenario in which the limits of healthcare reform are tested, and each employee is put on a 60% plan with employee contributions capped at 9.5% of salary. The third column is a custom column, able to accommodate for any packages you would like to create in step 2. And the fourth column is another automatically generated column, examining the impact of what it would look like for an employer to drop coverage. We'll go online in a minute here, but before we go to that, I'd like to highlight another couple features. One is that changes in premium costs are based automatically off of changes in actuarial values. We can also input an expected renewal percentage and then change plan design and see the combined impact or one after the other. There are several options to change, including employee contributions and the start of a study period. And you can also build an unlimited array of plan design options, as well as different packages, and access them as easy as having a drop-down list and selecting one. Finally, all rates for these packages can be downloaded into Excel for your use. ClearPATH also is backed by a research team. We continue to hold the Excel-based research model, in which we are able to accommodate for any custom needs. We also have actuaries and attorneys as a team to give excellent insight for any ACA issues, as well as the impact of healthcare reform. Finally, we have a software team able to upload custom population modeling or custom contribution strategies. Now let's move into what ClearPATH actually looks like online. I'm going to log right in here. And we will start at step 1, setting plan design. You'll see we have several plans already built. I'm going to click on one. And let me zoom out a little for you. You'll see again that this is laid out in the exact same layout as an SBC mandated by the government. We have the deductible and out-of-pocket up top, with several services down below. All copays are in a convenient drop-down box, and there are also checkboxes to mark whether something is subject to deductible or coinsurance or not. All essential benefits are included, and if one would want to not include any, in essence building a skinny plan, it would be as simple as unchecking one of these boxes on the right side. That service would then no longer be active, or in essence no longer covered. These all culminate into the actuarial value. Currently we have one of 81.8%, but if I were to make a change, for example change the deductible from $1,000 to $2,000, and if I were to give that a chance after I hit the Calculate AV button, we see that the actuarial value has changed to an appropriate 77.4%. After we have the plans we desire, we can move on to step 2, creating packages. Once again, we have a list of packages here that have already been built. I'm going to click on one which we've named Model 2014. This is actually the same package as we saw in the slideshow, in which the first 2 plans remain unchanged, whereas the third is changed from $1,000 deductible plan to one with a $3,000 deductible. You'll notice also the difference in actuarial value based on these plan changes. Further options are on the right, and these can all be reflected in step 3, where we may view the results. In step 3, we again have the 4 columns, the first being the current column. The second column shows that an employer could potentially save $393,000 with a minimum value plan, putting the healthcare reform to its limits. The custom column can be updated with any of the packages we saw in step 2. For example, if I would change to Model 2014, we would see an employer could potentially save $34,000. If, however, I were to choose another one, updated quite quickly, we see that for this one, there would be actually a higher composite actuarial value, causing a drop in savings. In other words, an employer would have to pay $23,000 above what they would normally be required to pay at renewal time. And again, column 4 shows the impact of penalties and other savings when an employer was to drop coverage. We have further levels of detail down below, including census, healthcare reform. And finally, we are also able to click on this button here and view the rates of any of the packages which we've built. I can update those live, just like in the custom column. And we see here, again, the 3 plans for this Model 2014 package, along with premiums and employer and employee contributions, all combining to a gross total at the bottom. I hope you've enjoyed this demonstration. Again, this was just a short review of the system. In a following video, we will dive into greater detail of how to use the system. We are very excited about ClearPATH and think that it will be a very useful tool to you. Thank you for your time in reviewing ClearPATH with me.